years ago. Frank doesn't remember me. I remember Frank because Frank was a big wig at the time in the PSA, and I was just this lowly little thing that walked around the place. But anyway, first met Frank. I thought he was wonderful. And then I was reintroduced to Frank 4 weeks ago when I was looking to find somebody to present on YouTube. And as a part of that process, I got sucked into, shall we say, Frank's sales funnel, and then arrived on a webinar. And to say it was different to normal, well, let's just say it was more relaxed, it was more friendly, it was more freestyling, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, even though I had to lock my wallet in a safe during the course of the presentation in order to protect it. But anyway, so Frank is going to share with us some ideas around how to sell in a COVID-19 environment. And as I say, please feel free to ask questions. If you want to get me to ask the question, then pop them in the chat box or raise your hand or however you like. If you're brave enough, unmute and ask the question as we go through, and I'll keep letting people in as they turn up. So without further ado, can we have a warm virtual round of applause for Frank Furness?
Hey, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Great to be here. And remember to hit the top right-hand corner for the speaker view. Otherwise, all you're going to be seeing is everyone else's faces there. So a little bit about my background. I grew up in a mining town in South Africa. And two days ago, I think it was 50 years, we had a massive sinkhole and we had to leave there. And if we didn't have the disaster, I'd most probably be a shift boss in a mine at the moment. Left there, grew up in a blue-collar family, and my mom decided, here's the thing, that I was going to become an accountant. So when I left school, blue-collar family, it didn't work out. I got kicked out after 10 months for being the most disruptive employee they ever had. And then I did what I always wanted to do, and I became a drummer in a rock and roll band. This was me in my rock and roll days over there. So that was fantastic. I did that for 8 years. It was absolutely brilliant. Then got married, so I had to get a real job because you don't stay married when you're a full-time musician. And I went into sales, financial services sales, did really well at that. 1993, moved over to England. Friend and I started a business. We sold it 4 years later. And for the last 20 years, I've been traveling around the world speaking. Started another financial services company about 10 years ago. We sold it 2 years ago. And I love selling. And for me, the biggest challenges just come across now because I speak all over the world. I had bookings all over the world. When COVID hit us, all of a sudden, nothing. I had no business. Everybody canceled. In fact, one was so bad, I had to pay somebody out that had already paid me for a big conference. And that, I tell you what, that hurt to give somebody money back again. Not only not earning money, but paying back. And I thought I've got to do something. Changed everything to online, started putting courses together, and basically it's gone absolutely brilliantly. And it's just, how do we change our businesses in this COVID environment? What do we do? How do we think differently? And that's what we're going to talk about for the next hour or so. So let's get straight into it now. And again, what I want you to do is just put in, what is your biggest challenge right now? Just put that into the chat box. I just want to get an idea from all of you. In this COVID environment, what is your biggest challenge? Take a look at the chat box there and see what we've got. And thanks for some of the questions I've been receiving, which has been fantastic. So let's have a look at that chat box there. Your biggest challenge. Nothing in the chat box. Nobody's got any challenges. I love this.
What I'll do, Frank, is they'll come through. The way I've got it set up is they'll come through to me. So I've got Paul says, bringing in new clients. I've got John says, biggest challenge selling online when you aren't in the same room. So we're getting a lot of that at the moment, obviously via Zoom. Gordon says visibility. Stephen shares meeting potential clients and generating leads. Sarah says making a profit and bringing in new clients. Marcus is cautious people procrastinating, so people putting off making a decision, closing sales, bringing in quality clients, and then having the confidence to sell online.
Okay, great. So a lot of that's going to be covered today. A big thing there on how do we find new clients? How do we prospect? And let's go into that. So I've developed what I call the home blueprint over here. And there's 4 areas really that we have to change. The first one being habits. All of a sudden, working from home, we have to develop new habits. And for me, it's really easy to get into bad habits. I don't know if anyone has got into that 5 o'clock red wine habit yet. I got into that pretty soon, and I had to break that habit and formed another habit now of posting very early on LinkedIn every morning, which is a great habit. And that's brought me in a lot of business. The O is for optimizing. How do we optimize our business now to be working from home? M is how do we go mobile? And the E is really establishing your credibility or expertise, and that we can do through things like LinkedIn. And what we're going to cover in the next hour is 3 things. Prospecting, because I had so many questions about that. Where do we find new clients? How do we find new clients? A lot were, what does my ideal client look like? Then we're going to look at how do we actually connect with these new people, and then how do we communicate? How do we sell to them? So let's get straight into it now. And we're going to start with prospecting over here. And I want to spend a bit of time on targeted prospecting. And this is a huge area, because do you know what your ideal client looks like? The more niched you are, the better it's going to be. If I said to you, who's your ideal target client? And you said everybody, it's so hard then. You can't just go and market to everybody. What would be your ideal client? Who would be the person sitting in front of you that is going to make the decision to take on your services? And if we look at that, there a couple of areas here. Who's got a problem that you can solve? They've got the time and money. You can give them the business outcomes. They're engaged with you. They've got the same kind of worldview as you. And an example here would be a company that I work with in London. Now, if I bring that up, then nobody's going to recognize this company. They're called Jellyfish Pictures. I'd never heard of them before until I started working with them. And what I discovered is they're one of the biggest animation companies in the world. They've got 102 animators. And if you've ever seen a Harry Potter movie or Raiders of the Lost Ark or Star Wars, they're the company here in South London that have done all of the animation for those movies. So I sat with their sales and their marketing team, and I said, okay, let's take a look and find who is your ideal client, because they wanted to get more clients as well. And there's 3 areas I recommend we look at. The first one is, I said to them, how do you want to be found if somebody does a Google search, if somebody does a LinkedIn search, if somebody does a YouTube search, how do you want to be found? And this is what they came up with. Animation and VFX company. I didn't know what VFX was, but it's a term that they know. Best VFX company, animation and visual effects studio, animation studio. And I then said to them, what kind of solutions do you provide? And they said, well, basically 3 things: movie animation, visual effects, and VFX. And that's where we would go in and we'd start doing articles and posting around those. So first thing is we find the right target audience, and then we give them some great information to show them that we are the experts, we are the go-to people in what we do. The third thing I asked them was, who do you actually sell to? And I thought it would be owners of big movie studios, that kind of thing. They said, no, a lot of it was the middle people, the influencers, so visual effects supervisors, not the owners, the supervisors, the producers, the broadcasters, post-production supervisors, production companies, directors. So the exercise to go through really is find out who is your ideal targeted client. Now, I'm also just going to spend a little time talking about advanced Google search strategies, because so many people were asking me about how do we find that target audience. Now, I don't know if anyone has used advanced Boolean search strategies before. That's where you use the brackets and the or sign and that kind of thing. So all you're doing is you're going to Google, you're saying, hey, Google, this is what I want, give me a list. And now I know we've got GDPR, so once we get that list, we're not just going to go and email them, but what we can do is go and find those ideal people, connect with them on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the new cold calling. You can connect with anybody. There's no GDPR or there's nothing. If you connect in the right kind of way, you'll do fantastically. So please, we don't have too much time to go into all of that today, but please learn about how the advanced Google strategies work, the brackets, the ORs, and that kind of thing.
So Frank, can you just spell that for me? So Boolean, did you say?
Boolean. Boolean.
Boolean. Okay, thank you.
In fact, you know what? I'm going to show you the little video. It's about 7 minutes long, but let me show you because it's really so important and I had so many questions about it. So what I did is I go to Australia every year for a month to go and present to companies out there. And I was working with BBDO in, I think it was in Perth. And I just thought to myself, let's say I'm a salesperson coming out to Perth. How do I find clients? I don't know anybody. And I put myself in different situations. I said, let's say I'm selling to dentists. How do I find dentists? Let's say I'm in tenders. How do I find tenders that are out there? Or let's say I wanted to find CEOs. I'm one of you, I'm Sarah there, and I'm saying I'd love to find CEOs in the oil and gas sector. That might be my target audience. So take a look at this little video here and it'll demonstrate what that all means. Okay, right now we're going to start taking a look at advanced search strategies and see how you can actually be using this in your business. So I'm in London at the moment and I'm going to Australia soon. So I decided, how would I do some searches if I was going to Australia? If I was actually living there, what would be some of the things that I was going to do? So let's move right into the advanced search strategies here and take a look. Now, let's say I was looking for a dentist and it's going to be in Australia. I would put in dental or dentist plus association plus Australia and also member directory. So that's my search term. I'm now going to hit the button, the enter button, and let's see what comes up. So as we can see here, there are a lot of searches that have come up here, and what I can do is just click into any of these searches, and let's take this one here, the member directory. I'm going to open that link in a new lab. Let's see what comes up here. There it goes. It opens it in the member directory. I'm finding out who the president, vice president, secretary is. I can also find out who all of the members are. There's their email address, their phone number, their addresses. As you can see, all of the details are here. So that's pretty easy to do. There I've got the whole member directory, and I can start contacting those people either via LinkedIn or emailing them. But let's say I wanted to look for hospital managers in Perth. Now there I would type in hospital plus manager plus Perth plus Australia, and they're going to be in purchasing because I want somebody in purchasing, and I want an XLS kind file type. So that means I want an Excel spreadsheet. So they're hospital manager, Perth, Australia, purchasing, because those are the people they might be putting in tenders. So those are the people I want to contact. I'm going to hit the enter bar, and as you can see here, there's about 5,500 results. So let's just hit the first one, and I'm going to click open. That's going to open an Excel spreadsheet for me, and there are the two purchasing managers, Christine and Trish. I've got their phone numbers, I've got their email address, what they're actually doing. They're the buyers. So now I can make contact with those two people, and it's that easy to do with the advanced searches. Here's another spreadsheet, and this one is really comprehensive. If we take a look at this here, we've got the Department of Health, the suppliers, and these could be a list of tenders that are going out over there. You can see the description, the category, you can find out everything about them, the date of the tender, what they're actually looking for, who the people are, the dates. So if you're in tendering, this is a great tool. Let's have a look at another one. Yeah, there you can see tendering. So a lot of tenders and procurement will go up here. Let's open up this one. Let's see what we've got here. And there we go. We have another spreadsheet there.
and we can see the name of the person over there, what their department is, what they're actually doing there, what their budget is, what is the size of the tender. I can click on those to view contract. Those are live links over there. All of the companies, what they're actually doing. So what a great way, if I was in a B2B business and I was looking for tenders, to go in and find out what tenders there are, who are the people I should be speaking to, and what are all of their contact details. Now let's say I was looking for a CEO in the oil and gas industry in Australia. What I would do is I would come in and I would type in president or manager or CEO in brackets, and then I would put plus oil or gas. It's got to be in Australia, and of course the file type is going to be an Excel spreadsheet. So there I go. Let's see what we've come up with, and again quite a lot over here. Let's click into this one and open that, see what we've got there. Now we have our spreadsheet, and take a look at that. I mean, what a great spreadsheet that is over there. The company, the current market cap. So I'm finding out everything about these oil and gas companies over here, the email address, where they are situated, their phone numbers, contact details, the contact person over there, who the chairman is, who the CEO is. There it is. In a few clicks, I have most of the oil and gas companies in Australia, where they're based, and who to speak to.
I mean, it's quite scary what you can actually find out doing that. I was working with a company in Perth, arborists. They basically go and they do trees and that kind of thing. Spent 3 hours and we found a tender, and it ended up earning them 2 million Aussie dollars just by sitting and finding the contracts out there. We actually went a little bit further and we managed to find out using Google search what the people were exactly looking for, the 5 points they were looking for. So the Google advanced search is brilliant. And of course you can do LinkedIn searches as well, but they want you to pay $80 a month for the Sales Navigator. So there's a little cheat. There's a way around that, and I'm going to show you what that is. And I use this all the time. So I'm going to go out of here and let's go into, let's go here. This is called Recruitin.net, R-E-C-R-U-I-T-I-N, Recruitin.net. So I've just put a course together for offshore financial advisors. And let's say I wanted to find offshore financial advisors that I want to sell to. And I'm going to start, let's say, let's have a look here. Where would I go to? Maybe UAE. Let's go to UAE. I know there's a lot of business there. There's a lot of expats. I'm going to put in the country, and I'm going to put in financial advisor. Oh, and it's giving me choices. Can you see it's doing the Boolean already? It's saying financial advisor or financial consultant. So it's doing that for me there. And maybe I want them to be expats. So I'm just going to put that in there. And I'm going to say, okay, go and find me a list of these people I can connect with. Click into that, open in Google. And there I have 609 of my target audience where I want them, and I can go and connect with them straight away. So this is a great tool. If you know who your target audience is, you can now go in, you can find them on LinkedIn. You can go in, you can connect with them. And so I would go in, and that all leads us actually to the next one. So now we found our ideal target audience, and that leads us to LinkedIn. So what I want you all to do, let's just stop the share. I want you to get out your iPhones, and I want to show you how LinkedIn can help you dominate the first page of like free SEO. How you can dominate the first page of Google by using LinkedIn. So how I want to be found is Sales Technology Speaker. So if you've got a phone with you, or an iPhone, iPad, whatever, just type in Sales Technology Speaker. I want to see if I come up on the first page of yours. Now, I do this all over the world. Every country I've gone to, I've asked to do this. And normally I own the first page. So John, there I am on the first page. Mark, I'm on the first page there. Great. Now imagine if you could do the same kind of thing, and what you don't want to put in there is accountancy practice or something. You've got to niche it way more. You know, it might be best accountancy practice for graphic designers in Watford or whatever. So the more niche you make it, the better it's going to be for you. And let's go into the share screen here. So if we take a look here, let's just do that search. There we go, sales technology speaker. And there's two reasons. One, can you see right at the top, LinkedIn? How crazy is that? Just by optimizing your LinkedIn profile, you're getting onto the first page of a Google search. The second reason over here is huge. So probably the two biggest search engines in the world today, YouTube and LinkedIn. Now that they've been owned by Microsoft, they've become maybe the third or fourth biggest search engine. So all you're doing is you're playing the Google game, optimizing all of your profiles to be found by Google. Now, if we see in YouTube, every video there has that phrase in three places, sales technology speaker. It's in the title, it's in the description, and it's in the keywords. And anyone who's got videos on YouTube, often I work with big companies and they spend fortunes on their videos, but just by not putting the right keywords in, they don't get any views. I'm getting up to 500,000 views on my videos, but you've got to make it easy for Google to find you. So that leads us into LinkedIn. We're going to look at LinkedIn now, how we connect with people.
Just before you do that, Frank, I've got a couple of questions. That
Yes.
recruiting.net,
Yeah.
Was that a free thing, or do you have to pay for that?
No, that's free. I like free.
That's completely free. Yeah, free's your favourite. Brilliant. And then Andrew Colson's got a question. Do you want to ask the question, Andrew? And then that will save me trying to interpret what you've put.
Yeah, it's a distinction. But in terms of all this around LinkedIn, I presume this is around your own personal LinkedIn page as opposed to your corporate page on LinkedIn.
Yeah, we don't have enough time to talk about both. So this one would be on your personal LinkedIn.
Yeah, I thought so, but I thought I'd check.
Yes, yeah. But please optimize both of those and post on both of those. So many companies I know, they've got a company page because somebody said they should have one. And then there's no interaction. They don't post, they don't do anything, and they wonder why it's not working for them. And exactly the same on your personal LinkedIn.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
So another good idea is just to sign out of your LinkedIn account, your personal one, and then just go and do a search for it. That's what I did today. You can see there, it says sign in, and just see what it looks like, because this is how other people are going to be seeing it. So people come in there, they'll see what that is there. They'll see there's articles. And let's go to where I have actually signed into it. So here's my LinkedIn. And some of the things that we've got to do here, just optimizing it. The first thing is that background. I go into so many people's LinkedIn and there's no background over there. Also, LinkedIn is a sales tool, is the best sales tool on the market right now. So make it easy for people. There I show people what I do, keynote speaker. So over there, what you want to do is accountancy practice, specializing in whatever you're doing. On the left-hand side there is your details. So they know straight away, they don't have to go and search and try and find contact details and all kinds of stuff. Straight away, there's the details. They've got it at a glance. Now, also, if you want to make a great visual over there, I use a fantastic little package. I think it cost about £47. It's called the Creator. And you'll see this visual later on in my PowerPoint. I made that this morning because somebody asked me about automation software. So I just went in quickly and I made this, and I use this daily. So the way this package works, and I'll give you a link to it later on, is somebody asked me a question like that. I'm going to go and I'm going to make a quick visual, and I use this for my LinkedIn visuals. I use it for YouTube. I use it for my articles. So there's stacks and stacks of templates over here. Let's just say we were going to do that one. So don't let what you can do not do. So the first thing you would do is you would just take that picture and you would delete it and you'd bring in your own picture there. You want to change the writing, what's written there, you just go in and you click edit and you change the writing. I'll just put you and implement. And it's that easy to do. So for my LinkedIn posts, if we just come here to my pictures and we look at my LinkedIn post, once a week I make all of my LinkedIn images. Can you see all of those were made with that package? And there's some great, great pictures over there. There's another one I just made this morning. Somebody asked, can you use LinkedIn for sales? So I went in and I made that one pretty quickly. And it looks fantastic. It looks professional. I don't have to go and outsource. So let's close that there. Let's close that. So that's what you want to do to get yourself a good background. The next thing you want to do is take a look at your about section over here. Any social media that you do anywhere, you are speaking to one person. One person is reading that post. One person is reading that article. One person is watching that video. So everything you do, don't write in the third person. So don't be putting there, Sarah is a chartered accountant, Sarah. Rather, hi, my name's Sarah. I started my accountancy practice 15 years ago. We've now grown to 25 people. Tell a story over there. Tell your story, what you do. And whatever you're doing on any social media to sell, always think in terms of keywords and key phrases. So if we go over here, below are some of my specialities. So that's where you put in all of your specialities. What does your practice specialize in? You put all of those in. You can see their specialities. So when Google is scraping, that's why I get to own the first page of Google, because I'm just feeding it, and you've got to do the same thing. Then again, when we think about it, there's so many accountancy practices out there. What is it that makes not only your practice special, but what makes you special? So Gordon, what makes you different or better than other accountants? Because somebody comes in and they're reading your profile, and that's where you want to put that in. Why clients like to work with Christy or John. So they're putting in all of the reasons, available all the time. We've specialized in this. So that's why people should work with you. So please go and just make some changes to optimize your profile. Because for me, LinkedIn is it's a push and a pull. That's what I call the pull. That's how I'm attracting the people that are looking for me. And I've got 29,000 connections because over the past 2 years, I know who my target audiences are. And every week I have connected with 100. And so I've built it up over time. And somebody asked about automation. We'll have a look at that in a little while as well. Now, the push is how you getting your posting out there, how you getting your expertise and sharing that with all of the people out there. And there's a definite way of posting. I'm going to take you into some of the secrets of posting over here. So let's just take a look here. I post every weekday. So I post 5 days a week. The magic hour of posting is between 7:30 and 8:30 in the morning. That's when most people are going to be looking at it. And let's take a look at my posts today. So I posted, maybe 4 hours ago. And there's my post. So I told you I grew up in a little mining town. Now, I also want to show you how I use LinkedIn as a sales tool. I would recommend everybody at this time running free webinars for potential clients. I do this all the time. And at the end, you do the upsell, because during the webinar, people can see what your expertise is, how you're better, how you're different. And that's how you're going to bring in new clients. So what I do, my strategy here is tell a story. What event changed your life? Let me tell you what changed mine. I'm just going to show you something here. Let's go back here again. A couple of things you'll see there. That's how people view it. So they just seeing, that's your first line. That is all capitals. So you do all of that and you ask a question. Ask a question there. Have you prepared for inheritance tax? What are you doing about stamp duty? Just ask a question. And then there's the one line that they see. So that line's going to be the hook. Let me tell you what changed mine. And they say, okay, well, there's a good picture there. Let me see what actually changed that. Boom, they go in. And there I tell a story there. I grew up in a little mining village, travel all over the world. If all of that didn't happen, I'd be a miner now. And then I put in, this is the hook here again. Don't wait for that event. Create your own future. So a call to action. And then join our free webinar on how to make money while you sleep. And you'll see there all the details in the first comment. Never put a link in your post because you will just be suppressed by LinkedIn. You're taking them out of LinkedIn. So I always put there, go out and check the first comment. And if people come into the comments there, they will see that link in the first comment. We go right down to the first comment. You can see I've got lots and lots of interaction on my posts here as well. You start developing an audience that's going to follow you. And in the very first link, I will get to that, I would put the link to where my webinar, where they would write up for that. So you can see I had 850 views there. Let's just put that in there. And if we go down to yesterday's one, I also try and find something that's going to capture somebody's attention. Now, there's some things that you can use. I always use my little program that I've just showed you there to create them. Or I use a thing called Giphy, G-I-P-H-Y. I use this about once a week because it's a little bit different, where you can find an animated GIF. And so here we go. Let's say I was going to be talking about money. Just bring that in. And you can find all kinds of things on money here, little GIFs if you want a funny one, if you want a serious one. All you do is you save that as an image, and you can now use that over here. So take a look at one I had yesterday. I found a little interesting video. Just take a look at this, how this hooks people straight away. I thought this was so clever. How clever is that? So I found that video, I put that in there. And my question, remember, my whole aim now is I'm trying to sell people to come to a webinar where I can upsell them. So can you sell your expertise online? A question in capitals. Give them all of the stuff there. Also have hashtags that's going to go out to your target audience. But if we take a look at this one yesterday, so far 7,128 views. So you have to develop a posting strategy. It's got to be every day in the magic hour. Please also, everybody, just go and follow me on LinkedIn and watch what I'm doing. There's nothing that, all I've done is I've learned from other people. I've bought every course out there on LinkedIn. I've bought every book. And as I find new things, I'm sharing those as well. So let's just, any questions so far? Any more questions there, Simon?
Yeah, I've got a question from Paul. Does LinkedIn suppress links in post to Microsoft Sway?
So you're putting a link in the post. Yes, they will suppress it. Rather say, go to the first comment for the link.
Okay, that's the only question I've got there in the moment. And then what I'll do is I'll put your LinkedIn profile in the chat box, Frank, so people can connect with you if they want, yeah?
Okay, great. Perfect. So go back here again. So, and the other thing you've got to do on LinkedIn is I go in a couple of hours later and I look at the people that have commented there and I comment back on their comments. So let's go in here. So there, what a story. I go back and I put the @ sign. So now the algorithm is seeing that I'm really active working over here. So there's made a comment over there, moving to Dubai. Remember, I asked him a question, what event changed your life? If you ask a question at the end of your post, that gives them something to write about. All of these people are saying, what event changed it? So he puts that in, I go in, I answer it, and all of a sudden, you go way up. You see there's 7,000. I reckon in a couple of days, I'll hit 10,000 with that post. Somebody also asked me, does automation software work? I used to use Hootsuite. Hootsuite is great. It's got a free version and a paid version. The paid version is about $12 a month. You can also use Buffer. And the one thing I would say, be very careful if you don't have a big list of using automation stuff. I use a thing also called Meet Alfred. Meet Alfred is absolutely superb, but if you don't know what you're doing, you could get your account closed, because the algorithms, I can go out and I can send messages to 100 people a day because I've got 29,000 connections. If I only had 1,000 connections and I'm sending 100 a day, it's going to say that's automation software, we close down your account. So with this one over here, you can see I've identified people I want to be sending messages to. This software will find those people. It will send the message. I have the message written out over there. Hi. It'll bring in their first name. Don't know if you've had the same experience as me. Tell a little story and then invite them to a free webinar. So there's just a few things on LinkedIn.
So Frank, I've got another question. Do you interact on all of those posts yourself, or do you outsource that to somebody? And if you do it yourself, how long does it take?
Okay, so you've got to dedicate time to this. So here's my thing. On a Sunday afternoon, I sit and I write out all of my posts for the week, and I make the little images. Last thing I do before I finish work every day is I put it up and ready for the next day. So I've got it. All I had to do is publish it the next morning. 7:30, I come in, hit publish, it's gone. I come back about an hour later and I start interacting with all the comments. I spend 35 minutes a day. I've timed myself on LinkedIn. But it's the best marketing tool out there right now for connecting with people. So let's have a look here. Let's have a look at communicating now. And let me just share again. And yeah, we're going to speak a little bit about video and how do we sell from home. Let's just have a look here. Got hardware and software. I'm not going to do PowerPoint. Let's get out of PowerPoint here. And I'm just going to show you my office setup here and some of the things that you've got to do. So the first thing is have a great background. So this is a virtual background. If you go just into Google and you type in free Zoom virtual backgrounds, you'll come up with a great background. You know, if you're seeing somebody for the first time, you're a professional, you're an accountant. What you don't want is, you know, the kids running around or your bookcase or things hanging. It's got to look professional, even if you take a picture of your office. So Gordon, I see you've got something green. You've got a green screen behind you there, Gordon. Fantastic. I would say to everybody, get a green screen. Now, Zoom works without green screen only if you've got fantastic lighting. So a couple of things that you need in your office. I'm going to take off my webcam here, and I'm going to show you lighting. Get yourself some good ring lighting from Amazon. So there's one ring light. There's another ring light there. Get yourself a good external microphone. So because I do podcasts and everything, I've got a £1,000 microphone. But all you need from Amazon is a good 20 or 30 pound microphone. So you've got good sound. And there you're going to see something weird. Did you know that you can actually use your iPhone as a webcam? You do that with some software that costs you £11 called EPOCam, E-P-O-C-A-M. And watch how I'm going to switch now to the EPOCam. So you can see me now holding my webcam. And now I'll change it. And there we have the other view. So now my iPhone is looking at the webcam. You can see the difference there. So if I wanted to go ahead now, I could keep using that, but I'll go back to my webcam there and I'll just put it back here again. So there we go. Also on virtual backgrounds, please get some great virtual backgrounds and use ones that are relevant. So if I'm going to be doing a drinks group, let's just pull up my virtual backgrounds here. If I'm going to be doing a drinks group and I want to have a bit of fun, I could put in something like this. But if I'm going to do something professional, I always want go. So I have a few different rooms, that one. So this looks pretty realistic. A lot of people say, oh, your house is beautiful. There we go. But in fact, I'm going to show you what I've got here. This is going to blow you away. And this is what you've got to have. This is what it actually looks like. Converted bedroom. And this is where I'm sitting. But watch what's going to happen now. I'm going to reverse gear. Watch my chair. My chair's got wings. How cool is that? So you can buy this on Amazon, just hook it up onto your chair, come back again, you've got your lighting, and everything looks professional. There we go. So isn't that a cool little thing to use? Okay, let's see what else we've got there. I see Paul's having a giggle there. Paul, I can just see you with that flying behind you there, you know. Be great. Right, let's have a look at what else we've got. We've got about 15 minutes. I want to leave some time for questions. I want to speak about video testimonials as well. So what you should be getting from your clients is video testimonials. And a video testimonial is made up of 3 parts. The first part is the credibility builder, basically the elevator speech where the person's talking about themselves. Hi, my name's Suzanne Crichton. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm based in Aberdeen. We help people to do this. So the first 20 seconds, the person who's giving it to you, that's the credibility builder. The next part, you've got to guide them a little bit. And this is where they're talking about what they've got from your practice, how you've helped them. And try not to get them to say, oh, I've used Alan and it's been fantastic, it's amazing. Rather say, by using Alan, we've reduced our tax by 15%. We're saving time on our VAT returns. So try and have some specifics in there on what they're going to talk about. And then they finish off again with who they are. So here's an example of what that would look like.
Hi, my name is Jerry Mossing, and I head up the marketing team at Fiduciary Group here in Gibraltar, providing financial services to both private clients and businesses worldwide. I've now attended 2 of Frank's workshops and have no issue recommending Frank if what you want is to learn how best to utilize social media to improve your opportunities and get your message out there. Frank has the ability to talk to you at your level of understanding, explaining clearly what you need to do and how best to do it. I'm now looking forward to implementing these ideas, and I'm doing so confident in the knowledge that I have the know-how. This is Jerry Mossy saying, thanks Frank for all your advice.
So there basically you can see how they do that. Let's just go over here. Please get video testimonials. It is the best thing you could ever have on your website, on your LinkedIn profiles, on your company LinkedIn. If somebody says you're good, nobody believes it. If they have a video talking about how good you are, makes the world of difference. Now, before we go into questions, Simon said I could do a little sales pitch. So, Simon, I'm basically a sales guy. I love selling. And when all of this actually happened, I had a client in New York, and they've got one of the biggest promotional goods companies in the world. Basically, they sell to Google. They sell to people like Universal Studios, Disney. Any of those mugs or t-shirts, anything there, this company makes for them. And he said to me, help, we're in trouble. My salespeople don't know what to do. They've got to sell from home, put a course together. And I took 2 weeks off and put a course together. And then I thought it's so relevant for everyone else out there. So I'm just going to show you what I've put together here. So basically the course I've put together has got 143 videos. I've combined lots and lots of my other courses. It's got 8 ebooks. LinkedIn scripts, we didn't even get time to go into that. It's got headline creator software. It's got over 1,000 in resources. There it is there. So it includes my video and YouTube course. That one I sell for £247. It includes my whole LinkedIn course, which is £47. And it includes some fantastic software to create headlines that I use every day. That's £47. So 123 videos, 8 ebooks, scripts, plus there's £1,000 of resources. What that means is that's copyright-free pictures, images, music, TV backgrounds. So I've put together almost the best package on selling from home. And in fact, let me take a look here. Let me take you into it. So there it is, normally $497. Let's just go into it here. It's over here. I tell you what, it's fantastic when you prepare well like this. Let's just find this here. So this is actually in the course, and you can see what you're getting there. So working from home, the home formula. LinkedIn, I mean, just take a look at how much there is on LinkedIn. Show more, there's tons on LinkedIn. The Google Advanced Search, everything you need to know. And then video, a huge section on video, how to use video in business, another massive section there. How to create your videos, YouTube strategies, how to do live streaming video, creating visual content, blogging and article marketing, which is another course I sell for £47. Your 10-touch plan to stay in touch with clients. And here's all of the resources, the £1,000 worth of resources, audio files, background images, blurred images, lower thirds, time-lapse videos, TV studios. So you can see there's just a ton of stuff over there. Normally $497, and I mean, what a little sales thing for the next 2 hours, but basically a 50% discount for everyone over here. I spoke to Simon. I promise you it will be one of the best courses for your practice. There is amazing stuff. If you're not happy at all, you just email me, and you get a full refund for the course there. So it's sellingfromyourhome.com, sellingfromyourhome.com. In fact, I'll give you some of the links as well now. And when you go to the checkout where it says coupon code, you just put in 50 off, sellingfromyourhome.com. And Simon, if I can, I'll just paste into the chat box there for everybody some direct links. So if you just get that there. And then we'll get to question time. So sellingfromyourhome.com. And I'm just going to take some links here and put that straight into the chat box. Let's go to the chat box. Will my chat box come through there, Simon?
It will do now. Yeah, I've changed it so it comes through. It should come through to everybody.
Let's just put it on everyone. So can everyone see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there we go. The little icon creator I showed you there earlier on, where I create all my visuals, that's the link if you want to go there. That's a great little icon creator. And there's a direct link if you want to go and get the 50% off. Just hit the direct link, you'll go there. There's my LinkedIn profile. And also there is a free 143-page book on video resources, all kinds of equipment, software, hardware. So that's a free book that I've put together. You just go in and you would get that there. So I'm going to leave that up there now, and 10 minutes for questions. Anything you want to, we'll go into it, and anything you want to know more about, video, LinkedIn, searches, anything.
Brilliant. So thank you, Frank. So what we'll do is when we finish the meeting, I'll leave all of that up so you can click links and all the rest of it at 1 o'clock once we've finished. I've got a couple of questions from Christy, and I'm going to deliver a little sales pitch as well, Frank. You've inspired me to share. So Frank is coming back for a, what should we say, a full session, a more advanced session with the Mastermind groups at the beginning of September. So if anybody's in the room that would like to find out how you could be a part of that and be part of the full group rather than just the community, then please let me or Mark know, and I'll gladly set up a conversation. So I've got a question from Christy, Frank. Okay. Do you have to engage on LinkedIn every day?
If you want to get into the algorithms, yes. And it's like any of the social media, like YouTube. If you put up a YouTube video every couple of days or once a month, YouTube is just going to say, actually, you know, you're really not active. We're going to leave you down there. We're going to promote the people that are there every day. So it's a real pain in the butt to do. I promise you, that's why the preparation takes a lot of time. Everything ready on a Sunday, every night. The last thing I do is just get it ready for the next day. But, you know, my online course, I've got 9 different online courses. And in the last 3 months, I've sold 93 courses purely by getting a lot of people on LinkedIn. So I showed you at the end there, register for our free webinar. They come to the webinar, I do exactly what I've done now. There's a special offer, go and get the course. So for me, it's been a whole new business model to what I've used before. And for all of you, I'd say the same kind of thing. Get webinars and do the upsell at the end of it.
Thank you. So if anybody else has got any other questions, I've got a list of questions here that we're never going to get through. But if anybody else is in the room that's got a question, you pop it in the chat box or raise your hand, and then Frank will gladly answer them. So Jamie's asked, should we quote our prices on the website, Frank? So should we put our prices on the websites?
Okay, depends what you're selling. What are you selling, Jamie? Your
so
services?
But Jamie would be selling accountancy services,
services. I wouldn't put it up on the website. I would rather put up there selling a free consultation, because it's only when you're speaking to somebody that you can really sell your value. Otherwise, you've got somebody that's shopping just for price. Sometimes that's not really the kind of client that I want.
Okay. And then Christy's asked, if we are running a sales process, a sales meeting, should we do anything different on Zoom to what we would do in a physical meeting, in a face-to-face meeting?
It's basically taking what you would do on a face-to-face meeting and do the same kind of thing. Now, I've been on a lot of Zoom webinars and calls, and they are as boring as hell. So you've got to bring your personality into it. You've got to make it exciting. I mean, the things I've tried to do today, interacting, talking to people, doing that kind of thing. If you're just going to put up a PowerPoint presentation, or if you've got a sales meeting with your people, I always have up where I can see everybody, I can look into their eyes, I can know if I'm engaged. So I see this almost as if I was sitting in front of you right now in a room speaking to you. I'd have that same kind of eye contact, have the same kind of interaction. So when you go onto Zoom, really try and simulate what you would do in your normal situation. If you're in a meeting with a client over there, don't just be showing them the potential PowerPoint. This is what we do. Get in, ask them questions, switch off the PowerPoint, do what we're doing now, that eye contact. Basically, people buy from people, and we've still got to do that, whether it's on Zoom or face-to-face.
Thank you. And then Lean's asked, did you create the courses yourself, or did you work with a collaborator?
Well, that's an interesting thing. I'm working like crazy at the moment, because next Thursday I'll launch my next course, which is how to create online courses. Because so Lena, you got to, if you want to know, just come along to that. I'm a sales guy at the end of the day, but it's a huge amount of work. So I do create my own courses, and I recommend you do the same kind of thing. I reckon you better come on the webinar next week to learn how to do it. But I do. And I use a fantastic platform. If anyone wants to know, there's my email address, frank@frankfurness.com. I'll just take you into it quickly. It's called Kajabi. That's where I host all of my courses. Let's just go in here. It's just the best thing on the planet, because it's got a CRM system built into it. It's got sales pages. It's got absolutely everything that you need. Let me just go into this page here. So yeah, we are in Kajabi. And you can see here, so pages. If I want to create a page, it's got templates. If you just take a look, these are all of the different sales pages that I've got over here. So I don't know anything about creating websites or anything like that, but with these templates, I can make it look absolutely fantastic. You can see how many things I've got up here. Let me show you one. So I do a webinar. I'm doing another product with a guy called Freddie Ravel. He was the keyboard player for Earth, Wind and Fire and Santana and Sergio Mendes and Al Jarreau. So him and I are putting a course together on music and business. And this is the sales page I put together using Kajabi. So there you can see Freddie there. but you can see it looks fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Little things I learned from Freddie is I put up a real boring quote there, and he said to me, Frank, you know, what's that quote? This is supposed to be modern. Get somebody modern. So I've got Jack Ma, got him up there. There's videos there, so you can go in. You can see the videos.
You know how this pandemic has kind of just taken us completely far more. Oh, well, thank you, Frank.
So your sales has got to be really good over there. That's where they sign up for it. A little bit about Freddie, a little bit about me. Watch Freddie in action. How cool would it be if you could get a video testimonial from Carlos Santana? That's what he's got there. So just a little bit on, I create my own courses, and it's just a brilliant, brilliant platform, Kajabi. If you want to know more, just email me. Great way to do it.
And perhaps, Frank, if you could let us have a URL for that webinar next week, I can put that in the email that sends out the recording, so everybody can, or you can pop it in the chat box now. So I'm conscious we've got 1 minute left, and just to round off on that courses, how would you recommend an accountant goes about creating a course? Is there, as a user of accountancy services, is there something that springs to mind that an accountant should be doing a course on, Frank?
Okay, a big one at the moment would be inheritance tax, because I just know so many people. My girlfriend was like, oh, what do I do? I've got a home in Orlando. I've got a home in Spain. I've got a home here. And I was like, oh, what happens with inheritance tax? What's going to happen? And she says, oh, I've got 2 homes here. I've got a home in Spain. And where do you go? You know, so if anyone put a course together on that, that would be absolutely fantastic.
Yes, funnily enough, Frank, I've got a webinar on on the inheritance tax course next week, so I'll send you the link to pass on to your partner about that.
Absolutely. I'm just going to go and find that link quickly for the webinar next week. Let me just find it here. Product Profit System webinar. And when I was putting this all together, I just realized how much there is. Let me find this here. How much there really is in putting a course together, because it's identifying your ideal client. What are the biggest problems they have? How do you provide the right kind of solution for that? What kind of course are you going to have? How do you record a big section on video? How do you upload it? Lead magnets. How do you get in front of the right kind of people? So it's way more than just creating a course, because you can create a course, and if nobody comes to buy the course or watch the course, and you can have a paid course and you can have a free course. A free course could be an incredible lead magnet to sign up clients.
Brilliant. Excellent, Frank. And we just tipped over 1 o'clock. I'm getting a few messages that people are going to disappear. So I've got a huge amount, as always, Frank. Recruiting.net, I think, is my highlight from this morning's conversation. So I'll definitely be going away and having a play with that. What I'll do is, as I leave today, I will leave the room open. So if anybody wants to grab links, cut and paste links, and not had an opportunity to do that, you can do that. And I'll also make sure that they go out in the in the email that sends out the recording of today's presentation, hopefully later today, if not later today, first thing tomorrow morning. So that just leaves me to say thank you very much to everybody for coming along. And as I said, it would be different to what we normally do and how we normally run these sessions. So I hope you enjoyed it. And a massive thank you to you, Frank, for coming along and sharing some insights in how you work and how you can sell it in a COVID-19 environment. Is there anything else you'd like to share, Frank, before we disappear?
No, just thanks to everybody. And I know most of you are going to be buying the course, so I thank you for that already. But just when you get it, just take a look in your email and your junk folder for the login details. Sometimes it goes to junk, but it's absolutely brilliant. So thank you, Simon. Thanks, everybody, for your time today. I know your time's valuable, so it's been brilliant having all of you here.
Brilliant. Excellent. Thank you very much, Frank. You're a star. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
Bye-bye, mate. Bye-bye.
Cheers.